Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Sunglass Chef. Today, vanilla pudding from scratch. I'm going to be showing you how to make a simple and scrumptious, delicious, creamy vanilla pudding. It only has 8 ingredients in it, and you can use the vanilla pudding for cake batter to make it your cakes more moist. You can use it for cinnamon recipes to make the dough that much more fluffy and moist. Or you can just eat it by itself. Or you can eat it with bananas. There's so many different varieties, but one thing's for sure, it's delicious and you can actually name each of the ingredients. Granulated sugar, Celtic sea salt, a vanilla bean, butter, 2 eggs room temperature, corn starch, heavy whipping cream, whole milk. Vanilla is optional. I like to add extra vanilla in there because I love the vanilla flavor. We're going to start with our dry ingredients. We're going to add that into our saucepan. 1/3 of a cup of sugar, a pinch of salt. We're going to use 1½ tablespoons of cornstarch, this is what's going to thicken up our pudding. So now we have our dry ingredients in there. We're going to use a whisk and whisk this together without turning the heat on. We don't want to turn the heat on yet. Okay, next we'll add our heavy whipping cream, 1 cup. Half a cup of milk, whole milk. Next we're going to use 2 eggs. We want to use egg yolks only. So 2 large eggs if possible, room temperature. One egg yolk. Two egg yolks. Now we're going to turn our stove on to medium heat now that all of our ingredients are in there. And we're just going to whisk away. We don't want this to boil. Once it starts boiling, that's when we know we're done. Now what I like to do is in the first 2 minutes, while this pan is heating up, I like to splice my vanilla seed. I use parchment paper as my cutting board. Come along and take a look at this vanilla bean. This is a Madagascar vanilla bean, and what we're going to do is we're going to slice it right down the middle. And you'll notice when we do, there are hundreds of tiny little seeds. And we want to put those seeds in our vanilla pudding. We're going to use our finger and put these right into our pudding. This is where the authentic, pure vanilla flavor comes from. These thousands of little seeds. It's a little messy, but that's okay. It will be super delicious when we're done. And instead of throwing these away, you can actually add this to your granulated sugar and have vanilla sugar. So there are different creative things you can do with these. Don't throw them away. You'll be whisking this pudding for approximately 10 minutes. And just whisk away. And it will gradually be getting thicker and thicker and thicker. Our vanilla pudding is starting to thicken up. I'm going to add just a little bit of vanilla extract to make the pudding more flavorful. You don't want to add the vanilla extract should you decide to do so at the beginning. Well, this pudding is smelling amazing, and it's starting to thicken up beautifully. I love this consistency here. And when we start to see bubbles in the form of it boiling, that's when we know to shut it off. And we're about 30 more seconds away before that happens. Take a look at that. See how thick that is? But we don't want to stop whisking. Keep going. It's like a whisking marathon. Don't stop. It's worth it. You see how we're starting to see bubbles here? That's our cue to turn off the heat. Continue to whisk. And now it's time to add 1 tablespoon of butter. Look at that thickness. Wow. And each of these little dots represents the black vanilla seeds. We're going to let this cool for about 15 minutes. And now for the moment of truth. It's so creamy. The vanilla is so profound. This is the best pudding ever.